Welcome to a Christmas creative video for Minecraft. Today I'm going to be giving you a tutorial on how to make this gingerbread house in Minecraft. So come with me, my friends. Let's get creative and let's get Christmassy. So first of all, I'm going to start off by giving you a quick look at the blocks I'm going to use for this tutorial. This isn't going to be a block by block tutorial, but it'll give you a guide of how to build this, and hopefully you can come up with something even better with your own special touch to it. So here we go, and we'll start off with the dark stripped oak for the walls, the spruce stairs for the roofs, the quartz stairs for around the edges to make it look like icing, and the quartz slabs to go with that. Then there's the calcite, I think you call it, which goes around the edges of the windows for more of an icing look, but a different look to the quartz which are on the roof edges. Next is the deep slate bricks, which I've used for the outside floor porch, and also on the edges around the building we also have the stairs version, and I've also used the same sort of thing as the chimney. Okay, and so moving on, we have the lanterns, which I've used to decorate the house with lights and to give it lighting as well. Next is the glass pane. I've used yellow, but you can use any pane you want to, really. I've used that for all the windows. And then underneath all the windows, I've put these leaves. I think they're spruce leaves I've used just as garlands. And then there's on the roof as kind of sweets, I've used red and green concrete, and I've also used shroom lights to give it a bit of lighting around. I did use yellow concrete, but I wanted some lighting in the roof, so I used shroom lights instead. There's also other things inside the building, lots of bits and pieces to do decorating, but I hope you'd use your own kind of thing and put your own style into the decoration, because you don't want everything to always be the same, and I would like you to explore your own creativity and do your own thing. So without looking too much inside, I want to show you this floor which I used as a carpet, which is crimson nylium, which it looks great as a red carpet, and I thoroughly recommend using that as a Christmassy carpet. And so that's about it for showing you what I've used. So let's go straight into it and show you how I built this. So here we go. So first of all, I always lay down the floor and the main walls. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to do the floor and the main walls just to get a guide of exactly where you want it. And I use this first section as 9 wide, and then I went up to another row up, and make sure you do your logs in the same way, same direction. You'll see later on me getting it wrong and how it can tell the difference, but do try and keep them going the same direction, just so it all looks nice and neat. You see, there was one wrong there. You see these lines going across on the logs? You really want to keep them all going the same direction, whether you're going across or up and down. But I think this looks good. So we've done it up like this, following the lines. And there we go. And that's the first part of the building. And then I'm going to come out a couple, which is where I'm going to use the porch. So once again, I'm going to go up just to show me where the edges are or where the corners are. And then this is where I'm going to put a door. So while I'm putting this down, I'm thinking what's going to go in this place. So I'm thinking I'm going to have a door in the middle and a gap and then the corner. So a gap on this side, and then the door, a gap, and that's going to be a corner. And when I do build, I always build one up from the ground. Not only because it looks nice, but it also gives you that ability to build nice flooring around, um, and do lots of different things rather than building direct onto the ground. Always thinking, one higher than your starting point, which is why I've stepped up the door. And so I've just done a little triangle at the top of this door, moving things one in as you go. And I'm just going to copy this pattern on this side, just to be exactly the same as the other side, so we can keep things all nice and symmetrical. So we're going to go across here, same as last time. See, that one's wrong, so I put the fix that. So like I said before, it's a 9 long for each of the sides. So we got a 9 with joined to a 5 in the middle and a 9 again. I just build these up. You'll see later on I do change this, and I always recommend change something if you don't like it. If you want something a bit different, give it a little bit of a change. But because I always build the shell of a building first, it then gives you the scope to change it around and play with things if you don't like it. You've always got that initial shell there that you'll always use, and it'll be nice and easy to keep things nice and orderly, and that things don't get out of control. So build your shell, and then think about your decorations and think about how you're going to make put a bit of depth and texture into your buildings. Uh, Doing this, I had really no idea how far I wanted to come out. All I was thinking is, where are the windows going to go? So I thought you can come out 3. We can do this now. 1, 2, 3, and then we can have a 3 window, and then do another 3, and have another 3 window, and another 3 at the end. And I'll show you when we get to the windows exactly what I mean. Okay, so we're going to put in where the windows are going to be. So I build this out to here and say, right, a window's going to be there. So I want to go up to this point. I'll do the same on the other side just to keep it nice and symmetrical. I always like my buildings to be kind of symmetrical, and then maybe change things later on. And that's 3, and a 3 space for a window. I'm putting that here just so I can go against a block for my the direction of my logs, so they're not going up and down. So I'll just put some temporary blocks in here. I will get rid of these. I could have used mud or something like that, soil to put in there, but it's just nice and easy. I'm in creative, so it's nice and easy. And just get rid of these for a free window, and then you can just fill in the ends and fill in the tops as well. So it comes down 2, and that comes down to 2. And there, that's another wall. And I'm just going to do exactly the same on the other side. And I'm going to do the back, which I'm going to do just completely bare at the minute until I work out what I'm going to do. Sometimes, if we're back of a building, you don't want a load of windows, because sometimes you just want to put stuff in your house that doesn't have windows. So I like to leave a back nice and bare until you know exactly what's going to go inside. You might want your storage system or something along the back, or I don't know, all kinds of things. And you'll see what I do at the back here later. But I'm just going to fix up a few bits that went wrong, as you see. Um, some went in the wrong direction, so just make sure they're put in the right direction. And I'll just fill in these walls here up to there, and the same on the other side. Yeah, and that is the walls complete. I'm happy with that, so I'm going to move on to the roof and just step up these roofs. Don't do an overhang yet because we're going to be doing the overhang later with the quartz. But for now, we're just going to do these spruce stairs. This is slightly wrong, so I'm going to change that so it's all nice and in line. And there we go, that's starting to look nice. I'm starting to get an idea of how things are going to be. And now I want to think of the main roof here. And the same as this porch I just did, I'm going to put in the stairs that are in line with with the walls, putting no overhang on there at all, because that will come later. So I'm just going to build up these, stepping in one every single time. I'm putting a block on the outside first, just to get that starter block, like I did with the windows before, so I can get the right direction of these logs. Excuse my phone. Should have turned it off. I'm going to use that mud just to let me know where the center of the building is, because I don't want to overshoot and have a wonky roof. So just bringing it in one. You could use a bit of soil to do that starter block if you want. Use anything you like, but I just use my block because I got it in my hand. There we go, another one, and that's it. We can get rid of this soil now because we found the middle. And I'm just going to fill this in all the way. Just do it completely solid all the way along, following this triangular pattern you've just created. Yeah, I forgot to delete that one. There we go. And you see that triangular pattern is starting to form. I just want to do the same on exactly the other side, coming one out this time instead of one in. There we go. Keep coming out one. Whoops. And there we go. And that's that triangle done. So all we do now, oops, done one in the wrong direction there. It's easy to spot it before you put in lots of decorations. So get those early, and then you won't have to go back and do it later. And there we go. We'll just put these stairs in there as the roof. Great thing also about using the stairs as a roof is they are mob proof if you're playing in survival mode. No mobs can spawn on stairs, so it is completely mob proof. Although it won't be later because I'm going to put in some concrete. But let's forget about that for now and carry on with this roof. So we're going all along the edges of these walls, no overhangs, and doing the same on the other side with the triangle. So doing all the way across and then stepping one in every time. So just follow that pattern, and there we go. That's the roof completely done. All I'm going to do now is start putting in the quartz slabs as an overhang. Um, this will give you the look of icing that goes around the edges of a gingerbread house. Uh, I've decided to use the quartz because it's the only white that comes in stairs at the minute, unfortunately. So you don't really have much of a choice if you want to use white. So quartz it is. So we're just going to put an overhang around every single thing I've done. So you're following what you've done, and just a little. The next bit on would be a white bit. So if you were going to carry it on, you carry it on, but using the quartz. There we go, carrying that on. And I just use the slab to go along the top. That also is mob proof as well, the slabs. And we'll do the same here. Just like you're carrying on that roof all the way down, we put a slab there instead of a normal roof. And that will give it a nice look like you've decorated it all with icing. And I think this works lovely. It's a really good effect. So quick fast forward to all the edges done around the roof now. And there, as you can see, this is all looking nice. And that's good. I thought about doing the corners of the house, but I thought, no, I don't want to overdo it with white, because as you see, I'm now going to come in with some more white around the windows. But I'm using this calcite. I think it's called calcite. It's one of the newer blocks at the minute, and I haven't really used this very much, but I think this gives it a nice white look and a nice frosted look like icing, but not exactly the same as the quartz. So I think this works quite well as something a little different. Now I didn't like this walls going right up to the edge of the porch, so I brought in the windows by one more, just so it wasn't touching the porch, and I think that's a lot better. And I thoroughly recommend doing this sort of thing as you're doing your own building. If you don't like something, just change it a little, give it a little tweak. There's nothing wrong with that. Might even go back and put it back again. And I did the same thing here of these windows. I thought I wanted them higher, so once again I changed it and brought it higher. And you'll see I make a few changes here and there as I go around. And because I brought it higher, I thought, no, now these windows are too long, so I bring the bottom up, and I think that looks good. So I carry on, oh, and put this around the edges again. Do the same on this side. And now we're going to forget about the tops of the roofs for now, or above the windows, because I just want to get everything all looking the same as I go before I start uh, deciding my design for these roofs. Because like most of my builds, this is a freestyle build. This is just doing it off the top of my head, seeing what comes. So I want to do it a little bit at a time, just so when I decide what I'm going to do, everything matches when I do it. So there we go. So I'm now going to think of how I'm going to do this roof over here. And I think, like the porch, I'd like a bit going over the top. So I'm going to bring this out just to here. I thought about going a bit further, but no, I think that's far enough because I'm still going to put the quartz around the edge. So we're going to join that together, take away the three in the middle, and that all joins as a nice corner. Now, I didn't get that quite right. But if you can just get this right here, yeah, and that forms a nice corner there. There we go, and just bring it to this edge you've created. And the same on this side. And there should be a gap in the top. I have to say, it's very important to keep things at an odd in these when doing roofs, because you want to bring that central piece in as a one slab. So you want that odd slab right in the middle. Okay, and so I'm just going to put in a few bits of quartz around the edge, just as a joiner, to join everything, to keep it all looking nice and uniform around. Put another one in there, and then I'll put my quartz slabs along the top, just to finish it off nicely. And there we go. And that looks nice. Once all the rest are going to be done, that'll look good. So we're going to just do exactly the same thing over here. Bring this out to the edge of that window you've just created. And the same side here. Step one up, step it in. And the same again. Going up, you go one in. And then you can get rid of, if we can get up there, this central piece. And that'll all tie together nicely. Quartz down the middle. And then, there we go. Just put in quartz stairs, and your quartz in the middle. Lovely. I did forget to do that one at the bottom, but I'll come back and do that later. There it goes. And I do exactly the same on the other side. Repeat that thing, and then you want to just fill in these little gaps here, like it's a nice wall carrying on. And inside, I just put these upside down stairs, just to give it a nice little bit of depth, a bit of detail. And the same on the other side. Fill in the wall here. If I can get the right spot. No. Yes, there. And then do some upside down stairs. Once again, for that detail, bit of depth, bit of texture. And it'll really start to make the build look nice when you add little bits like that in, just so things don't look too plain. Not sure if I like that there. I'll take that away, but I'll leave that one in. I think that's fine. And there we go. Things are starting to look nice now. Do I want one of these roofs as well? We'll just put these here just to follow that theme as what we had on the other side. Under there, so under everything there, we have them. So things are kind of looking similar. They haven't got to be exactly the same, but following the same sort of theme. And I'm just going to do the same on this side as I've done on the other side. Nice and simple. Fill in the wall. And then put in your upside down slab or stairs. Making sure your quartz is all around the edges and all finished nicely. So I'm just going to chuck in some window panes now. I'm using the yellow. You can use any colour you want. You can even use the plain panes. Use the panes, don't use the glass blocks. The panes will give you more of a depth, another layer of depth to your build. More layers of depth you have on a build, the more it's going to pop out and make it look very 3D and make it look a lot nicer than just everything on one level. So now I want to put in something here. This is a bit plain, so I think a nice little window around here somewhere. Maybe a cross window or something like that. We'll see how this looks. We'll just put this in. Before I go too crazy, I stand back, take a little look at it. Put these around. This looks okay. Stand back again. Sometimes when I'm just deciding how to do it, it's a good thing to take a stand back, take a look at it. Even if you stand and look at it for 5 minutes, think, is this what I want? Because sometimes you don't like it and you might have gone too far to change things. So now I decided I didn't like it. I wanted to come down a bit more. It was a bit too high to the roof. I thought if I'm going to do a nice little roof over this window, then I need to bring it down a little bit more. So here we go. I'm just bringing this down, putting this around the edges, just like the other windows, just to follow that same sort of theme. And then following the theme of a nice porch or a nice roof over the windows, we're just going to follow this here. And once again, right at the ends of the roof, you put in your white quartz. And that way everything will look nice and neat, like it's all meant to be there in the right place. So here we go. Just put a couple of quartz slabs along the top to finish it off. And let's take a look at that. There, doesn't that look nice? See, that'll work with everything. Now I'll do the roofs under the or above these windows as well now, just to keep that whole theme going. Oops, not an upside down one. One in there. So even when it's just a tiny bit of a roof, it can make such a difference. Just to add something in there. You might think, oh, it's only a couple of blocks you're putting in, but it'll make a lot of difference in the end finished product. So here we go. We'll just plop them in there. Carry on with these quartz around the edges. And as you see, I'm constantly saying you're following things, you're copying your theme, what you're doing, and that's kind of a lot of what you need to do when you're doing a building. If you find you're doing something nice, just stick with that same sort of pattern, even if things are slightly different. Like these windows here, they're not odd, they're even sized. So I needed to join up, instead of a slab, I put two stairs at the top to join it up. And you got to adjust slightly, but sticking with that same theme as what you've set out will always give it a good look, and it'll make it look nice. So there we go. Once again, following a theme I've created, I'm putting these upside down stairs underneath these quartz slabs or quartz stairs. This ties everything in together, makes it all nice and neat. I missed a couple in there. Put these in. And there we go. As you can see, it's all tied in nicely now. Just going to put in a little bit of a floor down here, just to bring out, well, make it look nice really. You want your building to look nice, and not just walls. So put in a little bit of a floor, put in steps up. I'm doing this across here, and I'll do a step all around. And something I do love doing is putting these stairs against my bottom of my walls from where it meets the ground. I find that a really nice look, so it doesn't look like it's just sitting on the ground. It looks like it's built into the ground. It's at one with the landscape. So here we go. Now what I'm going to do is put in the chimney. A very important part of this build, because it'll really set off the look of this gingerbread house. So I'm just going to go from this wall, the outside wall at the back. I'm going to go 3 out, or 3 in, should I say. 2, 3. And just making a square, basically, which will go all the way down. And as you'll see, there's a hole in the middle. And that is where we're going to put the fire, and the smoke will come out of the chimney. So you're going to want that hole in the middle. I'm just going to use these railings here just to make the chimney look like, give it a bit of depth, a bit of texture into there, and just to make it look nice. And I'm going to build this chimney all the way down. This will help give your chimney a good look that'll tie into the house. It'll give it a good contrast to the wooden walls you've got. But at the same time, it'll let people know this is where the chimney is, and it will look really nice. Trust me, I'll show you when I'm finished. So just going to fill in this against the wall, and then just do this box pattern all the way up. Now I've just got to think about where the opening for the chimney is. Not there. Oh, probably around there. I'll leave that there. You can change things however you're going to do it later on. It doesn't really matter too much. When you come in to do the interior, you can sort that out later. But I'm just going to put in a bit of I'm actually using polished andesite there, just to give it a little bit of a different texture for the front of my open fire on my fireplace. I'm just going to build that fireplace out a little to give a lot more of a nicer look to the fireplace. Could have done it even grander and made it come out even more, but that'll do for me, that will. And there we go. We could you can put in railings to cover a fire up. You can do it on the bottom, you can do it on the top. See if you can work out a nice little way of doing it. I recommend putting in a fireplace. That won't set fire to things as well if you're using a fireplace. You can use something like, I think it's netherite that will burn forever. Netherite and set light to it. But use that campfire, it'll give you smoke as well. And then I've gone round to the back. I'm putting in this nice little bit of detail into the chimney. Build it out a little bit just to give it a bit more depth to it, a bit more decoration. Put a couple of stairs in there for more decoration, a little step into it so it nice and flows nicely. And there, I think that looks quite nice. So I'm just going to follow around the footer of this house just to make it tie into this landscape. Like I said, it will work nicely. It flows like it's flowing into the ground and sitting there nicely, rather than just a wall that's going into the ground. And it'll divide the house from the floor and tie it in nicely together. So here, I'm just going to chuck in a fireplace at the top here, just low enough so you can't see the fire, but you can see the smoke coming out, and it'll also give you a bit of light coming out of the chimney. So now I'm going to put in these sweets along the top of the house. I could have done them all across if I wanted to, but I'm just going to put in some random holes in my roof. So I'm going to put in, I've chosen at the minute, I've got the red, green and yellow concrete, which I'm using. It's kind of like sweets that will go on the top of my house, like I've dotted some sweets along my gingerbread house just to decorate the roof. And some nice Christmassy colours, red, yellow and green. And put them in just in random places. We don't want colours sitting together, so I'm keeping those colours spaced out as much as I can. And there we go. Later on I'll change these yellow ones for shroom lights, but you don't have to. It was just a preference. I think this looks nice, but I wanted light on the top of my roof, so that's what I chose at the time. You may want to choose something else, like sea lanterns could be a nice thing to use. But that's what I've done here, and I think it looks great. Now I thought here is needs a nice something tied together there, so I thought we'll bring this bit of icing around here, make it look like it's all iced in together, and that'll tie in the chimney and the roof together. I think that looks really good. There we go. Just put that there, and I think that looks great. That does. And yeah, that's pretty much the outside of the house completed now. So what I'll do, I'm just going to chuck a couple of candles on the front here, on top of a couple of railings, just to put a bit of decoration. I'm not sure I like that too much, but that'll do for now. I'm quite pleased. You can always put your own decoration in there. See what you do. Let me know in the comments. Did you choose a different sort of decoration? And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a few lanterns around, because I want to light up the house. I love to have my builds lit up for nighttime as well as looking nice for daytime. So I'm changing these stairs for a plain block, just so I can put a lantern underneath, hanging from there. I think that works fine. That's not a problem to do it like that, because you can't put a lantern on a stairs, unfortunately. So there we go. We'll just put these down there. Every two down, I'll put another one. 2 stairs, and then I'll put that in there. Oh, there we go. And the lantern goes in there. And that'll light up the building nicely. We can put a couple under here, maybe. That'll light this area up. There we go. And just underneath the windows, I'm going to put a bit of greenery as a nice little bit of what do they call them? A garland. I would have liked to have done a half slab and then a garland, but it wouldn't look nice. But so just a garland along there. That looks perfectly fine. If you were doing this in icing, you probably would have just popped green under the windows anyway. And there we go. That's pretty much the outside of the house completed. Now it's time, I think, to go inside and see if we can make this house look nice inside. But first, I want to light up this roof. Like I said, I think it looks too dark at night time. So let's light it up. And I thought, just swap out these orange yellows for a bit of shroom light. And that works perfectly. That lights up the roof. You haven't got to worry too much about it. This is creative. I've got no mobs. But if you are doing it in survival, most of this roof is spawn proof. And I think with a new update about to come, they're going to have any kind of light will be mob proof. So only mobs will spawn where there is 0 light, which will be great because you can have some really nice atmospheric dark or dim lighting, and mobs won't spawn. This is going to be a really good addition to the game, and it'll make things a lot easier as well, I think. So here, inside, I've put in this crimson nylium down as a carpet, and it looks wonderful as a carpet. And then I realised that my fireplace is too low, so I build it up. Build this front bit up with the polished, was it andesite diorite? I think it was. I said andesite earlier. It's diorite. Put a door in. Put a couple of gold pressure plates. Now, it is a bit dark in here to work at the minute, so I'm throwing around some lanterns. These aren't going to be permanent. This is just for me to have a bit of lighting around so I can work a bit better in here, and we can see how things look. So, before we start doing a decorations inside, this multicoloured roof doesn't look right. So I'm just going to put in some upside down stairs to cover them up. It's going to look fine because it'll be kind of uniform. It fits in with the roof you have already. You could go all the way along if you wanted to, but I just thought we'll keep this a little bit rustic inside and have it dotted around these stairs, and that'll look nicely. Just cover up all these bits of colour because we want it all nice and brown inside. And we're going to put these garlands around. So I did it like it's hanging down. So I go along there, and then I come down towards the window. Go along, up. I just get rid of anything in my way, and there we go. All the way along. It doesn't matter if some of these colours come through, because you're going to go over them. It doesn't matter too much. We'll just pop in these garlands because I want to make these garlands look very much uniform. I want them to go nice and symmetrical. I don't want them to be all over the place. So just going to follow this same pattern as I did on the other side. On this side, so it goes up and down and up and down. And then finish it off to the side and then going up along the edge. Just like you've decorated this house for Christmas. A bit dark up here, can't see a lot, but hopefully you can see what I'm doing. And there we go. So now, just light that area up a bit. I'm just covering up these white bits now because I don't like to see the white under here. So that's all going to get covered up by upside down stairs. I'm just using full blocks now. Don't actually remember I did that, but there we go. I'm going to cover in all of this here. Still remember to keep those lights because I need the light to work in there. I think that, oops. I think that roof here looks nice like that. Let's cover that back in. Continue using the full block of these planks. And I'll put in that there. Same on this side. Covering the white. Yeah, that looks good like that. Yeah, and bring in the garland right around the edges. And that's going to work here. Oh, what am I doing? Put that back. Garland down there. As you see, I'm just trying to figure it out as I go. I'd like to do something with this chimney and garlands, but I think maybe a little way up. I'll just do it around here and have it like it's hanging down. So it's joined from the top, coming down to here. I don't know. I think that looks okay. There we are. Got lanterns around here just to light the area up. So now, moving on to the most important part of Christmas decorations inside, and that's the Christmas tree. Everyone wants a Christmas tree, so I've used moss blocks here. I haven't used leaves. I thought about using leaves, but I want candles on this tree, and you can't put candles on leaves, but you can put them on moss blocks. So I'm doing this nice upside down pyramid type pattern. Doing it like this, just stepping in bits as I go. And there. I think that looks okay, but not quite right. So I'm just going to change this slightly, I think. Bring it down here. There. I think that looks better. So I'm just going to put in some red, yellow and green candles around. Just randomly put them around. And I don't have a set number. They can go up to 4 candles on one block. But I'm just randomly putting them down. 2 and 3. And I've got a bell on the top of this tree. I didn't know what... I struggled with what to put on top of a Christmas tree. Because it doesn't have a star. And you don't have an angel. But I put a bell for now. You'll see later I changed it. I'm still not happy with what I've done. But comment below. What do you think should go on top of a tree? I'd love your opinions. What have you used to put on top of your Christmas tree in Minecraft? So I'm just going to light these candles. Just use flint and steel to light the candles. Make sure you don't set light to the tree. And there it is. Nice lit Christmas tree. I'm happy with that. Put a few presents around the bottom. You can have anything so long as it's smaller than a block. I've decided to put this in. This, what is it? Some sort of star. Is it Ender Star? I can't even remember what it's called now. You've got to put it on top of obsidian. So put a bit of obsidian down. There it is. And then I'll take away the obsidian and put down some moss block again. But you can't place it. You can only place it on top of obsidian. So you've got to put that obsidian down first. That was what that was all about. I think that looks interesting. I'm still not overly pleased with it. But it's the most starry looking thing I've got. Now I'm going to bring this chain down somewhere in, not in the centre, slightly off centre. I'm going to build a nice chandelier. This is going to be a simple candle chandelier because we're using candles. It's Christmas. This is going to look nice. So I'm going to be bringing this out all the way round. You can have all kinds of different chandelier designs. And I like to mess around with chandelier designs because you can get all kinds. So try out some different kind of designs for yourself. You can always go on to my Discord channel and send me the pictures of what you've done. Have you done this build yourself? Have you tried to do this build? I'd love to see different people's interpretations of it. You can go on there and post me your pictures. It's in the descriptions below this my Discord channel. Just pop along. If you can't find it, then message me and I'll give you a link to come on. It's open for anyone to join, have a chat, share pictures, share little discussions with everyone. And you also is the best. Whoops, careful there. Is the best place to find out what I'm doing and when I'm doing it. It's where I let people know what I get up to on my YouTube journey. So just lighting all these candles. Try not to set light to the chandelier. Now I think that looks lovely in there. I've just decorated with bits of furniture. I'm not the best at doing furniture, but I do that. Put a little bit of a rug down, bookshelf, some furniture, some flower pots on the window ledges, and I think this looks quite nice. And decorate it however you want. Make sure you get that Christmas tree in there. And I think outside needs a slightly more Christmassy, so I'm going to put in a couple of candy canes. Nice and easy these are. I just do it as red and then knock out the corners and put in quartz slab corners there, the stairs as corners, and I put one in there, knock that out, and there you go. You can make it a bit higher if you want to. I'll make a slightly longer one here. We'll start off with a white, and then we'll carry on red, white, red. This will be a corner. These candy canes are lovely and easy to make. Just remember those quartz slab for the corners and it'll look really good. Or quartz stairs, should I say. And there you go. I'm just going to put a little tree here. It needs a nice Christmas tree. There we go. Not lit up or anything. Just something to put in a bit of attention to detail in there. And then we could decorate a garden. But other than that, I'm pleased with how this Christmas gingerbread house is looking. So there we go. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know if there's anything else Christmassy you think I could do, because I'm planning on doing lots of these little videos over Christmas. Let me know what sort of things you'd like me to do. I'm going to try and build up a Christmas town around this area, and we'll see how it comes. So if there's anything you can think of to add to my Christmas town that you'd like to see uh, how it gets done, then let me know. Next, I might just be doing a big Christmas tree as a centerpiece for the center of the town. But until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Goodbye.